Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
So we're ready to go in the sentence in two matters and be regarding Lateria Elise Walton. Miss Walton is here in file 23416 SM. She's charged with 2 counts of assault and battery and disturbing the peace. Defendant is represented in that case by attorney Ross Truckee. That's for an incident that occurred way last February of 2023, almost a year ago. The assault and battery charges were dismissed and the defendant entered a plea to disturbing the peace. There were some co-defendants in that matter that have been dealt with. Then there's a newer case from July of 2023 that alleged felony home invasion, 2nd degree, and assault and battery. The complaining witness was Cachet Nichols. The felony charge was dismissed and the defendant pled to misdemeanor charge of assault and battery. Melissa Halleck is counsel in that case. Defendant did, I think, 1 day in jail for that. So, Ross, yours is the easier of the 2 cases. I'm going to start with yours. This assault and battery incident that occurred in February involved several people and some Facebook kind of back and forth that resulted in this incident. Miss Walton spent some time in jail and posted bond twice. I don't think I have any real money in that file. Miss Walton is also on a payment plan on another case, and I think you made a payment today to show good faith, so that was good to hear. In the 416 case, let's see if we have any bond money. That was from Quick Bail Bonds, $500. And I got forfeited. She posted another bond, another $500 through a bonding company. All right, Miss Walton, I don't know that I need to go into this too much because I'm gonna do the same thing I did with everyone else, is time served and fines and costs, which is almost always the sentence in disturbing the peace kind of cases. And as I told you at the time of the plea, disturbing the peace doesn't matter who was right or wrong or who started it. Was there a quarrel, argument, or disturbance in a public place? And this certainly qualified. Is there anything you want to say to me about that incident from last February?
I do apologize for disturbing the public place and where other people live.
All right.
Other than that, no.
1 day jail, credit 1 day. The fine is $0. You got enough stuff you're already paying. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, and a $150 attorney fee, which is $275, which is about what everybody else came out with. That's going to be part of your payment plan. The next case is a little more involved. That's Miss Halleck's case. Started out as home invasion, which may have been a bit of a stretch, but that charge was dismissed. It was a plea to assault and battery. The allegation had to do with a disagreement over a man who almost assuredly wasn't worth fighting about, but that you assaulted this other young woman and pled guilty to that. Ms. Halleck, what would you like me to know?
Well, Your Honor, my client does have two young children who aren't with her right now as a result of all of this. They're living with her mom down south. Is one thing she wants to get this, behind her, but her and the complaining party, the victim in this case, have quite the history, unbeknownst to the court. I did send a screenshot of a message.
Yeah, you just sent me something. I saw a flash
Yeah,
by.
and I did copy the prosecutor's office on that, as well as the clerk and Mr. Truckee. This is the complaining party in this case. What the message that was sent to my client shortly after the fight that they were in. My client also indicates,
This
that-
is Cachet in this picture. Wonderful. Okay.
Yeah, and prior to this incident where she had went to the complaining party's home, the complaining party had come to her home, and it's just quite ridiculous. But they, have a history of behavior towards each other. They were living just a skip and a jump away from each other. Now that's not the case. My client was evicted as a result of this incident. So she lost her housing. She's staying with a friend. And in this incident, my client states that, she shouldn't have went over there, but she did. And the girl came out. She didn't break into someone's home, but she's not, it wasn't her chasing her down. It was she came out to fight her and they fought. But she is the one that she was the aggressor. She went over there. She admitted that she's accepting responsibility. Really just, hoping that she learns from this experience, that this type of behavior is completely unacceptable. It sounds like Miss Cachet herself is not the most innocent of people. She's not here today. I didn't get any statement from her as far as victim statement. So I'm not sure if she had any injuries or anything like that, but hopefully with the move, and my client is considering relocating. She's just unsure where. She does have family, obviously down south, but also in Chicago. And, she just really needs to figure out what she wants to do. But she did also recently lose her boyfriend or significant other. He was shot and killed over in Battle Creek just last week.
Oh my, I saw,
So she's struggling with that too.
who was that? What was his name?
It was Israel Temple,
Israel.
Unfortunately, about twice a week, we hear about someone being shot in Battle Creek. And I'm sorry about, is that the man you guys were fighting about?
It was never over a guy. She just told the police that.
Oh. Okay, but that wasn't, Mr. Temple had nothing
He
to
had
do with,
nothing to do with anything.
I don't think he was I don't remember ever meeting him. Did he come over here or was just a Calhoun County guy?
He lives in Battle Creek. He just lives there.
All right, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I never connected two and two. I went to school with a woman who has since passed, and she was married to a man. They separated and he was murdered in Battle Creek. Anyway, this picture that Ms. Halleck sent to me and the prosecutor shows a picture of a young woman who she alleges to be Cachet Nichols holding a semi-automatic handgun pointed out saying, "Lateria, I'm coming for you." 1, 2, "Lateria, I'm coming for you." And that was sent to you immediately after this incident?
She posted it and then it was screenshotted to me. It was sent to me and then I went and looked on Snapchat myself and then I seen it.
Which is, again, you both have heard me, and Lateria, now you can hear me decry people having guns that turn something insignificant into a homicide. So you did 1 day in jail for this. Maybe you did 2 because you missed a date, but I think I caught up with you. Do the same thing, 1 day jail credit, 1 day, leaving 0 days to serve. I'm not doing any probation. Again, the fine is 0. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee and a $50 state minimum fee, which is $125, also part of the payment plan. There was no request for restitution or anything else. Somebody ought to share that. Well, you shared it with the prosecutor.
Yes, I sent it to their clerk. I wasn't sure which prosecutor. I just let them know it was being filed as a proposed exhibit for sentencing use.
You have a temper. And it hasn't done much good. So maybe this will be a lesson, but. Now you say you've moved. Have you moved to a different town?
No, I still live in Three Rivers.
All
I just moved in with the
All right. And where is that? Just tell-
Walnut Meadows.
all right. You need to be careful there. I'm just telling you, if you're not on the lease, you can end up having that person just leave those right there. They could be at risk of being evicted. And you just went through that landlord tenant process. It's not very much fun. And so I don't know whether it's on book or not, but anyway, that could cause a problem. Now, I have some bad news. That I just discovered just before I came into the courtroom. You have a warrant for your arrest. It's alleged in December 6th, you did disguise yourself with the intent to obstruct the execution of the law, with intent to intimidate, hinder, or interrupt another person for the legal performance of their duties by giving a false name and date of birth to Sergeant Matthew Stark during the investigation of a retail fraud charge. The allegation is that you were at the Walmart store in Three Rivers and did a retail fraud of less than $200. It's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 133 or up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Prosecutor authorized that warrant on December 20th. So the officer's going to take you into custody. You're going to go out to the jail and get booked in, and the magistrate will set a bond. How did you get here?
I paid somebody to bring me.
But I told you before I'd give you some bus passes. I don't
They
know.
told me they were full for today when I called them.
All right, well, I'm glad you're here, but I'm sorry you got this warrant. You're going to jail. Will somebody pick you up from jail when?
It's just.
I don't know anybody to call. I don't know their numbers.
All right, if you get out of jail and you're standing on the curb, come back here. I'll get you a bus pass, but I don't, apparently, while you were on bond on these 2 offenses, you got charged with a new offense. So they're gonna take you to jail, and at some point, it might not be until tomorrow, but the magistrate's gonna see you. So better make a phone call to tell somebody who's got your kids.
My mom does. They're
Oh,
fine. I
all
just gotta have to call my roommate and my ride so they don't
Come back.
pay out.
All right. These 2 cases are
Oh,
done.
she's like-
We got a new case. All right, you go with the officers.
Yeah, he said.
Yeah, you can have one of your like,